They can just call the macro and he does all that for him. So let's see what happens when we add a macro here. So here's my new transfer macro. Real simple little class here. All I'm doing is creating a doTransfer method, and it's external to my model object. So he gets passed in two accounts. He says withdraw from one, deposit in the other, and do transaction mess around it. Make sense? So fairly simple thing here. So what I did in my sample now in my bank ytuye is I added in two more buttons, transfer $10. And what I'm going to do is use a transfer macro I'm just holding on to here to actually call doTransfer to move the money. Simple little operation. If I run him again here, we'll see the two new buttons. I can deposit some money here, and I can say transfer, and we see the operations happening just fine. I can transfer the other direction as well. Okay, so this is kind of a rough way to encapsulate that functionality of the transfer. Questions so far? Let's get a little bit prettier on this. What I'm going to do is use something called the command pattern. And it basically takes that macro functionality and puts a single API on top of it. The single API in this case has an execute command. So instead of having to have every macro have its own parameter set, we're going to just have an execute. When you create an instance of that command, you're going to pass in the data you need for it. Now, it doesn't sound a whole lot different until you start thinking about how you can use this thing. And the way I like to think about this the most is that the user can customize. You know how in Microsoft Office you can rearrange things on the ribbon and the toolbars? The user can just drag things here and there or delete things they don't want. That's what I'm talking about here. What you can do is let the user decide which commands I'm going to associate